Hello friends, we are continuing our discussion of P block boron family. Uh, in boron family, some other important points include the structure of BF3, because if you compare a BF3, BCl3, BBr3 and Bi3. All right, if you compare these halides, see, they are all electron deficient, means in the outermost shell of boron we will be having only 6 electrons, so all are electron deficient. All right, now since fluorine is most electronegative, its electron withdrawing tendency is much more. All right, so on the basis of this, this boron should be most electron deficient, and on the basis of this, we should say BF3 should be strongest Lewis acid, whereas this Lewis acid strength, if you compare, this is very important point, the Lewis acid strength follows just opposite order. The reason given is back bond. The reason given is back bond in BF3. It is maximum, back bond is there, but the extent of back bond is maximum in BF3. So what happens, boron, if you look at boron, the configuration is 2s2p1. all right, this is 2s and this is 2p1. One electron is excited and the type of hybridization is sp2. So we get 3 hybrid orbitals of sp2 type. All right, so now look at these 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. This is one sp2 hybrid, this is second and third. All right, and all are having one electron. All are having one electron like this. Now look at fluorine. The configuration is 1s2, 2s2, px2, py2 and pz1. So in fluorine we have one pz orbital which is half filled. So the half filled orbital of p overlaps with the, means this is the overlapping, this is sp2 hybrid orbital of boron and this is pz orbital of fluorine. They are overlapping like this and they are forming a sigma bond. So these 3 sigma bonds are formed between boron and 3 fluorine atoms. So this is sp2pz, sp2pz and sp2pz. all right, this is sp2 and this is pz, sp2pz kind of bond. Now the problem is see, fluorine is very small atom. Fluorine is very small atom because when we move from boron to carbon to nitrogen to oxygen to fluorine, left to right movement, atomic size greatly decreases and atomic number is gradually increasing, means it has 5 electron and fluorine has 9 electrons. So the atomic size of fluorine is less and electron density is very high in fluorine. So fluorine has a problem with this electron density. So it makes a request with fluorine, boron, the central atom, that whether boron can provide any vacant orbital. So boron says, yes, I have got one vacant orbital. So what can be done, the lone pair of electron present over LP can be donated back to these vacant orbital. This kind of bond is called back bond. Due to back bond, the BF bond energy, bond order becomes 1.5. It should be 1, but it becomes 1.5, 1 point, not 1.5, 1.33. I'm sorry. Back bond, the bond order becomes 1.33. Why 1.33? Let us discuss. So once this fluorine forms a back bond with this vacant orbital, obviously what will these two other two fluorine atoms do? So they also, like for some time this back bond exists between this fluorine and boron. Sometimes it exists between this fluorine and boron, and sometimes it will exist between this fluorine and boron. That means there is a concept of resonance. All right. So the back bond is 1/3. The contribution of back bond is 1/3 because there are 3 fluorine. So due to this bond, bond order is 1, and due to this back bond, the bond order is 0.33 because 1 divided by 3, that is equal to 0.33. And this bond strength is more because bond order, we know that bond order is directly proportional to bond energy. So greater the bond order, bond energy is more. But the point is the electron deficiency of boron. There is less electron deficiency of boron. That is why BF3 is the weakest acid. This extent of back bond is maximum in BF3 because boron is using its second orbital, means 2s and 2p, 2p in back bond formation, 2p orbital, and fluorine is also using 2p orbital, whereas between boron and chlorine Cl it will be between 2p and 3p, and then boron and bromine it will be between 2p and 4p, like that. So the energy difference increases. So the energy difference between boron and fluorine is comparatively less. So the extent of back bond is maximum in case of BF3, alright, or BF. So the extent of back bond is maximum in case of BF3 because of less energy difference between 2p and 2p, alright. And this is the reason that the Lewis acid strength order is this. Okay, point is clear. And then we have the structure of some boron compounds. This is very important. One is regarding B2H6. Regarding B2H6, these two bonds are called, these two bonds are 3 center 2 electron bonds. Alright, boron is sp2 hybridized. Boron is sp2 hybridized. This thing you must remember. Alright, and this bond angle you must remember, it is 97. It is 97, and this bond angle is 120. And there are questions that regarding these two, these 4 bonds are normal bonds, 1 2 and 3 4. These 4 bonds are normal bonds. All right, and the bond length is this bond length is less, 119 pm. All right, whereas these bonds 1 2 3 and 4, that is bridge bond or 3 center 2 electron bond, this bond length is more, 134. Bond length is more means bond energy is less. All right, so this bond can be broken as compared to this bond easily. All right, this is B2H6 diborane. So this structure you must remember. And then we have Na2 borax, Na2 B4O7.10 of H2O, borax. All right, and this on heating it initially produces Na2B4O7, and then on further heating it produces NaBO2 plus B2O3. B2O3 is boric anhydride and this is sodium metaborate, and this is responsible for the borax bead test. This is a glassy bead. If it is treated with the, if it is heated with the any transition element etc., which show coloration, like an example is cobalt. With cobalt compound, it forms COBO2 whole twice. This is blue in color. Alright. This is called borax bead test. This is called borax bead test. And then we have like the and if you want to check the H3BO3 H3BO3, say this is hexagonal sheet structure. All right. And one H3BO3 forms 6 hydrogen bonds like this. Okay. Here and here. Then there will be hydrogen bonds. So if you look at this one molecule of H3BO3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6. So one molecule forms 6 hydrogen bonds. So this thing you must remember. And one more thing, it is boron nitride, means B3N3H6. It is called inorganic benzene. B3N3H6 is called inorganic benzene. Boron, nitrogen, boron, nitrogen, like this. H, 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 and H. Negative charge over boron and positive charge over nitrogen, like this. This is inorganic benzene. All right. Then in 14th trip, only some points are important. This is regarding say the structure of diamond. This we will discuss in solid state. It is three-dimensional 3D network structure. 3D network structure. Carbon atoms are sp3 hybridized. Alright, carbon atoms are sp3 hybridized, and it is a non-conductor of electricity. It is a non-conductor of electricity. Its bond length is around 154 pm. Whereas in graphite is actually two-dimensional. In graphite is two-dimensional sheet structure. Graphite is two-dimensional sheet structure. Carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, and it is a conductor of electricity. It is a conductor of electricity. Alright, so this is like this. Carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized. The distance between two successive sheets is around 340 pm. Alright, and carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, and cc bond length is around 142 pm, if you can remember these things. And it is a conductor of electricity. One electron of each carbon, these electrons are spread between two sheets, and it show conduction. Alright, these are the points related to diamond and graphite. Graphite is the standard state of carbon, and delta HF, you should be careful, delta HF of carbon graphite is 0, whereas for carbon diamond it is around 1.9, whereas for fullerenes it is around 38.1 kilojoule per mole, all in kilojoule per mole. All right. So graphite is the standard state. You must remember this thing also. And now if graphite is in the presence of electric arc, if it is heated in the presence of any inert gas, we get a sooty material. All right, sooty material, which is actually C60. Major is C60. Some we get C70, and we get up to 350, carbon 350 and even more. But all the species contain even number of carbon atom, that you must remember, even number of carbon atom. C60, its shape is like a soccer ball, all right, and it is called Buckminster fullerene. It is called Buckminster fullerene, and there are five membered rings. Five-membered rings. It is around 12, and six-membered rings. It is around 20, and six-membered rings are joined to six-membered rings as well as five-membered rings. But five-membered rings only join to six-membered rings. There is no joining between five-membered rings. All right, and there are 60 vertices. There are 60 vertices. You and these are the only pure form of carbon atom without having dangling bond. This is also asked in examination. There is no dangling bond, so they are considered the purest form. All right. So C60 shape is soccer ball, Buckminster fullerene. There are 12 five-membered rings. There are 20 six-membered rings. Six-membered rings are joined to six-membered rings as well as five-membered rings. But five-membered rings are joined to only six-membered rings. Carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, and free electron of each carbon give aromaticity. This is again important to this C60. Alright, so these are some important points of 13th and 14th group. Thank you.